Welcome to Get Moving TV. I'm Dr. Chris Landon and I serve as your host. Here in Ventura, we really have something occurred back in the 1960s and 70s and 80s where we had this critical mass that really put out firm after firm, idea after idea, and as the whole aerospace kind of drifted away and we turned into a bedroom community, we lost some of that heart. And with me today is Martin Shum, who's making that heart beat again, a little electric shock to get us going. But for the last 3 years, you've been having, or the third year coming up, you have an event. Tell us about the event and your own feelings about what can happen here in Ventura County in terms of innovation.
Sure. Well, thank you, Chris, first of all, for having me here. Kind of interesting. I started 2 companies in my past, and all in Ventura County, one in 1987 and one in 1998. And during that period, just like you said, this area was booming with technology startups. Milken Institute actually publishes a report called the Best Performing Cities, the 200 metro areas in the country that they rank. And in that period, Ventura County as a metro area were amongst the top 10% of the 200 cities. 2008, with a crash, we dropped down to 186 out of 200. And I looked up the report from last year, 2016 report, and we dropped down 12 places from 100 to 112. So we're still in the kind of the bottom of the barrel. It's a shame. You know, we had a lot of energy back then. I call them startup DNAs. You know, there was a lot of that. Somehow we've lost it. So, you know, as a retired entrepreneur, I'm trying to help. I think I'd like to find a way of restarting that somehow. I think there are a lot of activities going on with the colleges. You know, Cal Lutheran, they have a class on entrepreneurship. I think Channel Island has one as well. And we see a lot of young kids who are interested in being entrepreneurs. But, you know, it is a really tough job to start a company.
Well, I see, you go to Starbucks and you see so many people with their yellow pads and their cups of coffee and they're writing like crazy and they really never go anywhere. It really does take a conglomeration of leaders in business, people who've been through it, who've know what an entrepreneur works 25 hours a day. We had we were at 365 at one point, and what it is, a 365-day a year job. What kind of team do you have helping you out? How you know, you're starting the heart up, but they need the brain, the kidneys, and the courage, and everything else. Yeah,
I think what we need really to create is a comprehensive startup ecosystem in Ventura County, and I think that is a lot more than one institution or certainly one individual, but even one institution can take on. So our effort, you know, I started this by engaging Camarillo Chamber of Commerce, because I know as an individual, sooner or later I have to stop. So I need somebody, I need an institution to go behind me and say, once it's organized, once it's started, we'll pick it up, we'll keep it going. You know, it has to be continuous. So they stepped up, and the second step was to get the public sector involved as much as possible because they have a key role to play. And so we got the city of Camarillo involved and the Ventura County government involved. So they are very supportive of what we do, and not only in terms of helping us with things that we need to get done. Like, for example, the city of Camarillo puts up $10,000 every year as a prize money for the winner of our contest, startup contest, to help them get going, which is very generous. And the county government also gets involved. Most recently, the county government actually offers a 3,000 square foot office space at the Camarillo Airport for us to use as a co-work space. So winners of our contest can have a place to essentially launch their business. Right.
Well, and at the airport, I mean, we're looking for how can we be like San Jose? I mean, and so having the meeting space, having the ability to do exhibitions, having the incentives, the ability to have conventions. So I think in Camarillo, I mean, that's going to take more hotels. It's going to take a sports facility. It's going to get all those things in here. Certainly hooking up with Cal State Chenons, Cal Lutheran, and having them oriented that way. How have you seen the evolution, though, of your startup weekend? When you started out, all these things take some time and get a little nucleus, and the next year it's a little better, and then things annoy you, and then the next year it gets nothing but better. So how have you seen that evolution?
Well, we started, when we started that effort, we said, well, let's look around and see what formats are out there to encourage startups. And the first year, we decided to adopt the format provided by Techstar, and they have a format called Startup Weekend, right? And it's an international kind of a movement. So and they have a very set format. It starts on a Friday. They have an open microphone, and any entrepreneur with an idea can step up. They have a 1 minute, the elevator pitch, to say, my big idea is this, right? And then out of all the ideas presented on Friday, a finite number is picked by the audience. So it's a popular voting system. And typically 10, no more than 20 ideas are picked, and they form teams right there. And then all through Saturday, they will work on their idea. And then on Sunday, they will compete. And the competition is called a proof of concept competition. Because over the weekend, there's no way you can come up with a business plan. It's just not realistic. But what is realistic over the weekend is, with the help of a lot of mentors that we provide, they can start really testing out the ideas. Is it really doable? Is there enough? Is there technology out there that can make it happen? And if I make it happen, is it manufacturable? At a reasonable cost. And if I can manufacture it, will somebody buy it? Essentially, right? So the competition's on that. So we did that. It was very good. But what we learned from it was, from the first year, the real solid ideas came from veterans in the industry. That year we had 3 doctors that showed up. And all 3 doctors had really powerful ideas. Now, they didn't win they didn't win the contest, because a lot of that stuff they talked about, the young kids don't understand. Right. It's very industry oriented, but they were really great ideas. In fact, one of the doctors, a radiology oncologist, had the idea of setting up a navigation system for cancer patients on the web, and he got a lot of help from young kids with marketing, with how to package it and so forth. And he didn't win, but he said, I'm doing it because I know the market needs it. And he's going. He has a company now doing it. And last I heard from him was he's about to sign a deal with a large insurance company that could potentially explode that business into something significant. That's what we were trying to do. Yeah. So we learned from that. And the other thing that we learned from the first year is we didn't have enough engineering students there. Most of the young kids were from Cal Lutheran, from Channel Island, and in liberal arts schools or business schools. Important because they bring the marketing element, to it, but they don't bring any technical know-how to solve it. So the second year, we decided that we're going to reach out to universities past our immediate area. So we make connection with UCSB, because they have a wonderful engineering school. We reach as far out as Cal Poly and set up a relationship with them. Pepperdine, CSUN has a very good engineering school, so we set up a connection with them. So now we have more, we can tap into more. So the second year, we had more engineering talent at the event, but still not more of a contest. Like one of the young lady that came to the weekend had an idea, which I thought was a reasonable idea, and she was in one of the final teams. When I went up to her before the competition, I said, what are you going to do if you win, right? Because we have a cash prize for the winner. And so, oh, nothing, I'm still in school, this is just for fun. So the third time, so the one that's coming up now, we decided, because we have a lot of people, as I told you, the county is involved, the city is involved. I didn't mention earlier that we have 12 CEOs of local companies, significant companies that are judges. They volunteer their time to be judges for the event. So they take it very seriously. I mean, they're big guys, and also they provide a tremendous value to the startup guys, because a lot of them could be their customers. Most entrepreneurs will have a hard time getting a meeting with them. And I'm putting 12 of them in front of the entrepreneurs, say, go present to them. They're here for you, right? So this third time, we decided to do it by application only. So people with an idea, please, welcome, come and apply. We will send their ideas to some of the CEOs for review. And we welcome any good ideas. We just want people to be really serious about doing this, because we all donate our time and our resources to help them. The idea is if we find a good team, we want to do everything we can to help them get started. But the winner, for example, this time around will get $20,000 in cash as a seed money with no strings attached. The only thing we ask for is that the money cannot go to an individual. It must go to a company. So the winning idea has to form a company to get the 20,000. And then we have a $5,000 in-kind award attached to that. And the in-kind award are all professional services. So we have accountants sign up. They can set up their chart of accounts. We have an IP attorney who always donate. And he will give them a 1-hour free consultation on how to handle their IP. We have corporate attorneys sign up to help them set up their business, incorporate their business, set up a stock option plan, or design a cap table, capitalization table, so they can create their own currency. And now we also give them 1 year free use of our co-work space. That's a lot of money. We are very serious about doing this, and we want serious startups. So anybody with a great idea, and they really want to get it going, we want to help them. So we want to encourage people to apply.
Well, thank you, Martin. At Ventura, it's time for you to listen to this man, time for you to get that innovative idea. You've seen the websites run underneath here, so time for you to sign up, see if you can get it by that CEO, but get incredible mentoring from these people who are going to help you get your business started. So Ventura, it's time for you to get moving. Ventura, welcome back. There's some remarkable things that are just hidden on the other side of a field here. And with me today is Jim. Here we go. Jim, we ended up meeting accidentally because my wife was out looking to start an escape room. And there you were, hidden in not far from here, and somewhere that's going to become very famous by the time we're done with the show. So tell me how you started with Magic and what Magic stands for.
Well, we started a foundation called the House of Magic Foundation for the Arts. It's a very long word, doesn't fit very well on a bank statement. But about 6 years ago, we decided to form this nonprofit that focused around art education. So we wanted to create a facility that people could come to that wasn't just about a dance class or martial arts. We wanted to create something that encompassed every aspect of art. Someplace where a mom or a dad or a family could participate, and while they're working on salsa dancing, their child could be in a music class or in a magic class. And so I've been a magician for about 40 years, which is remarkable because I'm only 30. But I always wanted to have a facility that had a magic shop, and my wife had a passion for the arts. So we recently sold a software company, and decided to form this foundation. And my wife said, I got it. We can call it the House of Magic, and Magic will be multi-arts gallery and instructional center. Therefore, we have a home for every aspect of art. We're Ventura's hidden little gem right across the field.
And we don't want it to be hidden. So,
No, we don't.
So we were talking a little earlier, just so social marketing being what it is. So what kind of how are you getting out there?
Well, we've tapped into the Facebook and Instagram. We have several different websites to kind of work on the various classes that are going on. So instead of putting everything under a single umbrella, for example, we have the House of Magic, which is our main website, which, by the way, is thomagic.org. Easy to remember. And we have a website for our improv. So we try to tap into a lot of websites that can link back and create better SEO. We rely heavily on word of mouth. We do a lot of public performances so that we can bring awareness to what it is we're doing. But it's amazing because we'll go to places, and I always wear a shirt that has something with magic on it. We'll go to places and people will go, oh, the magic house. And it's like, well, the House of Magic, but yes. And they're like, I heard about you. And then the conversation kind of stops. And it's like, okay, but what? You know, why did you not come down? Why weren't you curious? So it's been a challenge to really try to get that word out there about what we do. And basically our mission statement is to support the arts through the hearts of the community by making the arts accessible to anyone who wishes to learn, seek, explore, or achieve the arts in all its form. So we want the arts to be accessible to everybody, regardless of your ability to pay, regardless of your race, creed, economic status. It doesn't matter. If you're interested in it and you seek it, we want to be able to make it available to you.
So in terms of the art classes, what days of the week is it available? Just at 10 in the morning, or how late are you guys open?
Well, I was listening to your previous guest, and he was talking. You were talking about 365 and 25 hours a day. That's my schedule. Our classes operate throughout the day. We have classes that go on until 9 o'clock at night. So you need to check the website to see about what the schedule is for the class. But we have some classes that will start at 8 in the morning for aerobics or whatnot. We have salsa dance classes that go on Wednesday nights. We have improv classes. So it's all schedule-based. Our doors aren't necessarily 9 to 5. And if there's a class that needs to be held at 10 o'clock at night, our doors will be open to be able to facilitate that class.
Now, I've seen the theater,
Yes.
and we're showing pictures
My
of this
pride
we
and
speak there. So how many does that seat? So if I'm a family, I want a reunion, I want to show slides, and I want to rent the place, how many people sit there? Does it have a great sound system? Tell us a little bit about the theater part.
We're very proud of the theater and its technology. We are able to project a movie. We have all LED lighting. We have electronic curtains. We have a 32-channel soundboard, which it doesn't need, but we have it anyways. We also have a working studio for a production studio with a data switcher and everything, so we can film your event if you'd like. But depending on how we configure the theater, we made it so that we could set it up with round tables, which in that case would seat about 60 people. Or we can do theatrical seating, which will hold about 90 people. So depending on the type of event you want, we can configure it in multiple different ways. And but above all, it's the Magic Theater. It's where I get to do my shows. So
tell us about your shows. And I've known Paul Dwork, of course, forever because of the pharmacy.
Yes.
And he'll have a fundraiser. He had one for our project with kids with Down syndrome and autism. We'll talk about your interest about that later.
Yeah.
So what kind of shows? Trying to lure children into magic here? Or?
Yeah, we have, once a month we do a comedy show. It's an improv show. And so the students that participate in the class have an opportunity to be able to present what they've learned on stage. They get selected based on their abilities. And we do a kids improv class as well, and they do a quarterly show. We have a magic camp, so the kids on a quarterly basis have an opportunity to get up on stage and perform. And that's really the beauty of our facility, is you don't only have the place to learn, but you also have a place to be able to showcase it. And not everybody wants to do that. Some people are a little intimidated about getting up on the stage. But we've just recently launched a sitcom class where the kids are learning how to act in a sitcom, and then we film it in front of a live audience. And that will be up on a YouTube page so that they actually get an IMDb credit for participating in the sitcom. And so it's a really exciting venture. And so there's lots of, we have hypnotists that come in periodically, we have mentalists that come in and perform. So it's a variety of entertainment that you can see on our stage. And it all showcases the things that you can learn in the facility.
Well, of course, my bent is towards medicine.
Yes.
And you and I were talking, and I go, well, I have this project that I need to get done, which is we had a man undergo surgery for his hand, a graft for his hand, and he's in Chad. And once his hand is freed up, we're going to have to cut into every single knuckle, and he needs to undergo physical therapy, and he needs to do that every day, and he cannot stop. And how can we do this with telemedicine and so forth? And you start talking, well, you know, I've done some things around hands and therapy, and did you guys end up with a book, or who were you working with?
Actually, David Copperfield came up with a concept called Project Magic. And it was specifically for teaching therapeutic magic to patients so that it gives them something fun, exciting, engaging, and it also gives them the ability that by the time they're done, they're able to do something that most people can't do. And so we've developed a series of tricks that can be done, if it's the case with the hands, then we've developed some tricks that they can do that help provide therapy to the hands. One of the great things about magic is people think of it as you know, something you go to see, and you watch on a stage and somebody vanishes an elephant. But magic, it helps with your fine motor skills. It helps people become ambidextrous. It helps with memory, because there's a lot of tricks that involve memory retention and things of that nature. So it can be incorporated in so many other ways. Every job I've ever gotten in my life has been because of my magic. I became an internal auditor for a diocese. He wanted to know how I was going to go in and audit the church's books. And I said, well, it's easy, I'll show you. I took his cigarette and I made it disappear. He wasn't very happy about the cigarette disappearing, but he was impressed by the fact that, you know, I could do this. And so magic goes beyond the stage. In fact, I brought something with me, if you want to see something real quick with the hands.
We have our Eastman Physical Therapy just a couple blocks away. We're going to get you two together.
Yeah, you're actually right next door to me. So,
yes.
I always carry elastics with me. And so one of the things that we've done with therapy is in working with an elastic. So you take the elastic and you can show that it's on the two outer parts of the fingers. And you can see it right there in the camera. And I'll open up my hand and it jumps to the two inner fingers. Now, to make this a little bit more difficult, we're going to wrap a rubber band completely around the fingers. I'll bring my hand down a little bit there. I'm going to wrap the fingers so that the elastic is locked into these two fingers. And just like so, yeah. But you can see that you get the motor skills of the hand having to open and close. And the way this trick actually works...
Are you going to get shot by every magician in the United States?
David Copperfield revealed this first, so I think I'm safe.
Okay, all right.
If he did it, everybody by now knows about it. But what's the beauty of this in physical therapy is, you know, you have the opening and the closing of the hands, but then you have to get the thumb to reach over, grab the elastic, and place the fingers inside. So this is what it looks like on the backside. That's what the audience sees. That's what they're seeing. And then you're just lifting the fingers up to cause the elastic to jump. So you're incorporating these motor skills
Yes.
into the trick. And it's a great, and when they're done, they've accomplished a magic trick that they can show their friends and
practice
And,
over and
yeah.
over and over without
and
boredom.
it's something that they're not gonna, that other people can't do.
And then with Down syndrome, autism, we were talking just a little bit. What kinds of things does magic offer them, or can?
I actually have a Down syndrome student that we teach magic to. When I saw him, he didn't communicate very well at all. Did a lot through sign language. And we've been doing this for now about 7 or 8 months, almost a year actually. He remembers every single trick that we have ever done. I will take a trick out of the bag and say, do this for me. And he can repeat every single one. He's much more socially engaged with people now. He's got something that he can bring out.
Yes.
And so it's an amazing tool to help them feel like they've accomplished something. And it's something that most normal people can't do. And he's up there doing it. He performs at a lot of my shows, in fact. He comes up and he does a trick with me.
Excellent.
And so it's a great confidence booster. It's a great way to to help you get out of your shell and to really be able to present and promote in front of other people and do something that's unique.
Well, Jim, thank you for bringing so much to your community with magic. So, Ventura, it's time for you to get to Startup Weekend or Ventura Weekend. Get serious about business, getting into business, and get yourself down to magic. You're going to be filled with art and amazing, amazing things. Maybe I'll disappear. Who knows? Get moving.